Hey, good morning. How are you this morning? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Mornings with Mike. It's Monday morning and it is 7:10 a.m. or a little bit after here, and we're just getting started. So, like I said, I hope your day started great, and this is just to help set the tone of your week, and I want to share the word with you and would love for you to pay it forward and share that with somebody else. So, this morning I'm going to be getting into Mark chapter 10 verse 45, and the reason I wanted to get into this, so I go through a couple different books and I go through some preparation as I'm, getting ready to share with you. And this one just jumped out at me. It's 1 Minute Prayers, and it was talking about the gift of giving. And we're in that season of giving and gratitude. So I thought, I just really want to share that with you this morning and have a conversation on how to serve others and give in this season, or not necessarily for you or for me to say to you, like, here's how to do this, but just so that we can live in a way that Jesus lived and kind of to take us to that place. So Mark 10 verse 45, and I'm going to get into my New Living Translation version of the Bible here. Says, oh my gosh, my eyes can't focus some mornings. Mark chapter 10, verse 45 says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many." So this is one of those key verses for me that really reminds us it is so important that we give of ourselves and truly serve others. And especially in a time that we, so often we seem to want others to serve us. We want the inverse of that. Now, when this is being said, when he's sharing this, what happens is his other disciples were arguing about, like, who's going to sit on the throne. Let me give you some context. I'm going to read a couple of verses up to that. And so then James and John came over and spoke to him. "Teacher," they said, "we want you to do us a favor." "What's your request?" he asked. They replied, "When you sit on your glorious throne, we want to sit in places of honor next to you, one to your right and one to the left." Jesus said to them, "You don't know what you're asking. Are you able to drink from the bitter cup of suffering I'm about to drink? Are you able to be baptized with the baptism of suffering I'll be baptized with?" "Oh, yes," they replied, "we're able." Then Jesus told them, "You will indeed drink from my bitter cup, be baptized with baptism and suffering." It goes on, then it says, "When the 10 other disciples heard what James and John had asked, they were indignant. So Jesus called them together and said, 'You know that the rulers in this world lord it over their people, and the officials flaunt their authority over those under them. But among you it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among them must be your servant. Whoever wants to be first among you must be the slave of everyone else.'" Then he goes on to say, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and give his life as ransom for many." So even while his disciples are arguing about, like, who's the most important one, who's going to be able to sit at the right and who's going to be able to sit at the left, and they're having this debate or argument, however you want to word it, then he stops and he says, "Wait, hold on just a moment. I came here to serve you. Let me remind you what the most important gift that you can give is, and that is your service to others, to be able to serve other people." See, they were in pursuit of the wrong things. And even then, they didn't understand probably the implication of what his words were. Like, he didn't demand service of other people. He actually knelt to wash his disciples' feet, right? The one person, he came before all of creation, and he's going to bow down humbly and be a servant to everyone. So, I'm reminding you this morning, I'm reminding myself this morning, I'm reminding all of us this morning that it's so important to have a real attitude of gratitude, the actual humility and the gift to give in and of ourselves. Like, just truly and deeply serve other people. And that's something that's just so valuable and so, so important. Hey, good morning, Weldon. It's nice to see you, sir. So as I was going through this, and this is a 1 minute prayer book, I want to share this with you. And so it talks about the gift of giving. It says, the Christian life is about serving others, isn't it? By giving my life away to others, I give my life to the Lord, right? It just seems so right. And I think a lot of times this season, the holiday season, the Christmas season, when we're kind of coming to the end of what's been a difficult year, just because the year ends doesn't mean the difficulties are going to end, right? Just as a reminder. But as we're coming to the end of what's a difficult year, and people look at, the birth, and then hopefully their rebirth as it comes into January 1st, it's like a new year and everything's going to be wiped away. I ask you, like, what have you truly done to serve others throughout this year as you're reflecting? Not what have they done to serve you, or what can people do to serve me in the upcoming year, but what can I really do to serve someone else? Like, for example, if you go out to and connect with a restaurant owner or some of these businesses that are struggling, when have you looked at someone, and gosh, I've learned this so much recently from my friend Matt. And if you guys haven't tuned into our Friday Night Fire episodes, I would love for you to join us for those. But it's so interesting and a change of perspective to just look at somebody. And as Matt looked at me one night, we're doing this Zoom call just like this, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey man, how can I pray for you right now?" And I thought, man, that is such it doesn't take anything but our heart and our time, and just to pray to lift somebody else up. And so there are so many people that are struggling right now, the small businesses and restaurant owners, not to get way off on a tangent, but if you just looked at one of those people, if you're going out and you're conducting business with them, and you looked and said, "Hey, how can I pray for you? What can I pray for you? What can I pray over you during this season?" And not just at the holiday season, but during this coming season of 2021, or as we're transitioning into that. So it says here, "Thank you for the example you've set by ransoming my own life through the death of your son, Jesus Christ. Help me to remember that when I give to someone in need, even when it seems a sacrifice to me, that I'm giving to you, Lord, by your example." So, and maybe it's the holiday season that's speaking to me. I know that I've had a lot of really good and just awesome people in my life that have reached out and said, "Hey, how are things going? How can I pray for you?" And so I ask you today, for anybody who's watching this, you can send me a DM. You don't have to drop it in the comments or whatnot. Send me a message. You can connect with me on Facebook or many other platforms. My handle is generally Lead the Team. But if you need somebody to pray for you right now, just send me a message. I would love to pray for you. I'd love to give that gift to you right now, just to be able to help us all move forward. Good morning, Tanya. It's nice to see you. So I would encourage you that do the same. What can you give of yourself? Who can you pray for? What can you offer to someone else? What can you expect from someone else? So I encourage you that going into this week. We have Christmas at the end of the week. And like I said, certainly the holidays, maybe that's what's affecting me, but I know that's what God has put on my heart this morning. And so I wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of this today. I hope you have an absolutely amazing and fantastic week. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And do me a favor, if somebody else that could use this message, share this message with them. If somebody else needs your help, needs your gifts, reach out to them. If you could use a prayer, if someone else that that could use a prayer, send me a personal message. I would love to include them in my prayers this week. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great, fantastic week. God bless you all. And I will see you back here next Monday morning. We'll talk to you soon, everybody.